Peace for Ukraine or you reign now. Russia, just go home.
With profound, humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 1 of 4.
Etc.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. So be it.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Thus the gods have at once united in your person the most excellent structure of body and the greatest perfection of soul. And now can you still say, after all, that they take no care of you? Please stay with us for Socrates Proves the Existence of God. Selections from Memorabilia by Xenophon. Vegetarian, Part 2 of 2.
Trust me, your body is not happy when it has animal products rotting away inside of it, and it tries to let you know. It tries to let you know by making you sluggish after you eat a steak. It tries to let you know by making you feel cramped and bloated when you drink cow's milk. Just like it tries to let you know with a heart attack. Russell Simmons, vegan.
In Doisi say, passionate viewers, that's how you greet the gentle people of Greece with "How are you?" in Greek. I am Ariadne. When we attentively observe, we can discover that God's teachings are always manifested in every aspect of our lives. May you be enlightened every day by the spiritual teachers around you.
Nuke bomb, cluster bomb, and whatnot? Oh yeah, you are really training the devils to copy and be ready to use these evil killers on you and yours soon. Here and or in eternal hell.
Welcome to Socrates Proves the Existence of God. Selections from Memorabilia by Xenophon, Vegetarian, Part 2 of 2, on Words of Wisdom. The venerated Socrates, vegetarian, was born in Athens, Greece, circa 470 BC. Many people consider him to be the father of Western philosophy. Others think of him as an insightful teacher and an enlightened master. Socrates believed that an individual's main purpose on earth was to discover the truth. He stated that most people focus their lives around their families, careers, and social responsibilities, when in fact they should be concerned about the welfare of their souls. With compassion for all life, Socrates followed and promoted a vegetarian diet. Most of the information about Socrates, vegetarian, his life, and his philosophy was transcribed after his departure by two of his students, Plato, vegetarian, and Xenophon, vegetarian. These disciples wrote about their master in several books, in which Socrates is depicted as the main character. First published in 1712, The Memorable Thoughts of Socrates by Xenophon is a collection of Socrates' philosophy on a variety of topics, as well as Xenophon's reflections on his master's wise words. During a lecture in Costa Rica in 1989, Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, spoke of the sacrifices that the saints, including Socrates, vegetarian, made to enlighten people, and why they are the greatest peacemakers.
All the saints in the past worked very hard to enlighten people, even though by doing so, they have to endure many kinds of criticism, misunderstandings, and hardships, sometimes even risking their lives, such as in the case of Jesus and Socrates. Also Buddha, many people wanted to kill him, also tried to blacken his name. But despite all of this difficulty, the saints always endure for the sake of people. The saints are the greatest peacemakers, the greatest politicians who always bring peace into the world, the king without any throne, because they don't need anything in this world.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Eswatini or Swaziland is one of them.
Eswatini or Swaziland, Cruelty to Animals Act 43/1962. The country, Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland, has a basic anti-cruelty law that outlines offences such as neglecting to provide adequate food, water, and clean living conditions for animal people in one's care.
Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan, make peace, so be it.
Today, we would like to present excerpts from the Memorable Thoughts of Socrates by Xenophon, vegetarian, wherein Socrates, vegetarian, convinces his student Aristodemus that a higher power oversees all of creation. Chapter 4. Socrates proves the existence of a deity, or God. Nor do you see your soul neither, answered Socrates, which governs your body, but because you do not see it, will you from thence infer you do nothing at all by its direction, but that everything you do is by mere chance? Aristodemus, now wavering, said, I do not despise the deity, but I conceive such an idea of his magnificence and self-sufficiency that I imagine him to have no need of me or my services. You are quite wrong, said Socrates, for by how much the gods, who are so magnificent, vouchsafe to regard you, by so much you are bound to praise and adore them. It is needless for me to tell you, answered Aristodemus, that if I believed the gods interested themselves in human affairs, I should not neglect to worship them. How? Replied Socrates. You do not believe the gods take care of men, they who have not only given to man, in common with other animals, the senses of seeing, hearing, and taste, but have also given him to walk upright, a privilege which no other animal can boast of, and which is of mighty use to him to look forward to remote objects, to survey with facility those above him, and to defend himself from any harm. Besides, although the animals that walk have feet, which serve them for no other use than to walk, yet herein have the gods distinguished man, in that, besides feet, they have given him hands, the instruments of 1,000 grand and useful actions, on which account he not only excels, but is happier than all animals besides. And further, though all animals have tongues, yet none of them can speak like men's. His tongue only can form words, by which he declares his thoughts and communicates them to others. Not to mention smaller instances of their care, such as the concern they take of our pleasures, in confining men to no certain season for enjoying them, as they have done other animals.
Vegan, the true nutrition for adult and children.
Providence takes care not only of our bodies, but of our souls. It has pleased the great author of all, not only to give men so many advantages for the body, but which is the greatest gift of all, and the strongest proof of his care. He has breathed into him an intelligent soul, and that, too, the most excellent of all, for which of the other animals has a soul that knows the being of the deity, or God, by whom so many great and marvelous works are done? Which of the animals can, like him, protect himself from hunger and thirst, from heat and cold? Which, like him, can find remedies for diseases, can make use of his strength, and is as capable of learning, that so perfectly retains the things he has seen, he has heard, he has known? For if man had a body like to that of an ox, the subtlety of his understanding would avail him nothing, because he would not be able to execute what he should project. On the other hand, if that animal had a body like ours, yet, being devoid of understanding, he would be no better than the rest of the brute species. Thus, the gods have at once united in your person the most excellent structure of body and the greatest perfection of soul. And now can you still say, after all, that they take no care of you? What would you have them do to convince you of the contrary? I would have them, answered Aristodemus, sent on purpose to let me know expressly all that I ought to do or not to do, in like manner as you say they do give you notice. What, said Socrates, when they pronounce any oracle to all the Athenians, do you think they do not address themselves to you too? When by prodigies they make known to the Greeks the things that are to happen, are they silent to you alone, and are you the only person they neglect? Do you think that the gods would have instilled this notion into men, that it is they who can make them happy or miserable, if it were not indeed in their power to do so? And do you believe that the human race would have been thus long abused without ever discovering the cheat? Do you not know that the most ancient and wisest republics and people have been also the most pious, and that man, at the age when his judgment is ripest, has then the greatest bent to the worship of the deity? My dear Aristodemus, consider that your mind governs your body according to its pleasure. In like manner, we ought to believe that there is a mind diffused throughout the whole universe, that disposes of all things according to its counsels. You must not imagine that your weak sight can reach to objects that are several leagues distant, and that the eye of God cannot, at one and the same time, see all things. You must not imagine that your mind can reflect on the affairs of Athens, of Egypt, and of Sicily, and that the providence of God cannot, at one and the same moment, consider all things. As therefore you may make trial of the gratitude of a man by doing him a kindness, and as you may discover his prudence by consulting him in difficult affairs, so, if you would be convinced how great is the power and goodness of God, apply yourself sincerely to piety and His worship. Then, my dear Aristodemus, you shall soon be persuaded that the deity sees all, hears all, is present everywhere, and at the same time regulates and superintends all the events of the universe. By such discourses as these, Socrates taught his friends never to commit any injustice or dishonorable action, not only in the presence of men, but even in secret, and when they are alone, since the divinity has always an eye over us, and none of our actions can be hid from him. For more information, please visit Project Gutenberg or gutenberg.org.
Vegan, because morals are a measure of a man's greatness.
Discerning viewers, thank you for being with us today for Words of Wisdom. Coming up next is How to Eat Right and Save the Planet, a plant-based survival guide for you and your family, by Bill Tara, Vegan, Part 2 of 2, right after noteworthy news. May heaven's light lead you to find your supreme wisdom.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, heaven Godspeed.
Russia, leave Ukraine or you reign now. Peace be with you too.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Acara kami menyediakan banyak bahasa. Silakan lihat suprememastertv.com/schedule dan suprememastertv.com/WAU.